Hi guys, so today we are going to look at principles of consistency in trading, and it applies to almost every venture in this world. So these are the principles which Mark Douglas stipulated in his Trading in the Zone book, but I think they relate so much to us as traders, and anyone who grasps these concepts are going to improve in their trading performance. So number one is every trader must define their edge, and here the edge means the probability of certain thing happening over the other. And here you as a trader, you perceive that you already have a methodology to use, maybe what you define as an opportunity in the market. So you already define what you perceive as an opportunity in the market. And number two, the trader predefines his risk, and the risk here is the amount of capital you are willing to put on that trade to see if the trade will work out or not. And there are different methodologies that people use when predefining their risk. Maybe you take 2% or 1% of the trade, but I'll urge that when you are predefining your risk, you go with the risk tolerance rate, such that do not place too high a trade which do not have emotional capability of withstanding the volatility of the market. So number three is the trader accepts the risk and is willing to let go of the trade. See, majority of us, even me sometimes, I usually find myself in this situation. Maybe you take a trade, you have already predefined your risk and you have placed the trade. So see, the trade, maybe it turns to be a winner. Instead of maximizing on the trade, your instinctive reaction is to close the trade, because you see an opportunity, and maybe you see this trade may not go so much in the direction which it is currently at, and you end up closing that trade, and it turns out to be a very large winner. And see, basically because of the pain avoidance mechanisms that already exist in our mental environment. So, and the other scenario is when maybe that trade starts to be a loser, and it starts going towards your stop loss. So because you haven't accepted the risk and you don't want to be proven wrong, instead of closing the trade and taking small losses, you end up taking a huge loss because you did not accept the risk. So accepting the risk and not willing to let go of the trade means that once you have already placed a trade, the only thing you can do is to control how you take your profits and how you cut your losses. Okay. So the next one is you act on your edges without reservation or hesitation. And see, this usually comes when maybe because of your previous outcomes of your trades. Maybe your last trade was a winner, and same opportunity which you define as an edge presents itself at that moment. So instead of taking that trade, you start gathering so much information that the trade is going to turn out to be a loser, because now you often find yourself gathering so much evidence to negate the probability of that event, instead of taking the trade and letting it the outcome reveal itself. And you see, now you hesitate, and then the trade ends up being a winner. So at that moment, you fail to act on your edges. And for you to become a probability thinker, you need to accept that there is a random distribution of wins and losses for any given set of variables, so that you do not know how, if the next trade is going to be a winner or a loser. The only thing which you can do is to take your trade and to control how your mind during that moment, so that you know how to take your profits and to cut your losses. So the next is, I pay myself as market makes money available to me. And this one I had already talked to during accepting the risk. See, oftentimes you find yourself, maybe the trade is presenting itself as being a very worthy winner. So instead of letting your trade profit turn into a profitable one, you end up closing the trade because you see that it's going to turn to a loser. And maybe what you do not know is that you already in the trend of the market, or you are in the flow of the market, and you end up taking a small profit instead of letting it run. And you see, something about us as traders, instead we usually cut our profits early and let our losses run. And professional traders, they do opposite. They let their profits run and cut their losses short. And that's how you are going to stay in this game. So next one is, the trader consistently monitors his susceptibility from making errors. And these errors are the common trading errors, and they result from our mental environment. So at any given moment, what we know is that we do not have any control over the outcome. What you have is just control over the mind at that moment. So instead of letting your beliefs and expectation cloud your judgment, you allow yourself to perceive market information from a neutral point, and consider that every outcome and event are unique, and the only thing you can do is that to perceive the market information in as a neutral one. So the last is, you understand these principles and you will never violate them. So once you have already studied all the other 6 principles, you accept them and you let them guide you while operating in this environment. And I can guarantee you that once you follow everything, that's how you're going to be successful at trading. See, once you become consistent, and consistent here means that whatever you have predefined as your rules or methodology, you follow them strictly to your letter, and do not compound random variables into your methodology, because it will be hard for you to see what works and what doesn't. And I hope I have been helpful, and thank you guys.